Oh, hello. Oh, he's got a screwdriver out. Oh, yes. So this is it. This is the live reaction to construction, creative construction mode, whatever they want to call it, in Fall Guys. We've got fans. Oh, hello. I want a sandwich. Give me a sandwich. Hammers in there. Yeetus, fans, doors.
Hello.
I saw a rhino too.
Here to the Fall Guys
Why is it in
HQ.
German?
I'm Leah Alexandra, and today we're getting into all things creative because, drumroll please,
Why is it in German?
Fall Guys Creative is launching on the 10th of May.
Yay! 10th of May,
With
let's
the launch
go!
just around the corner, we thought today we'd dig into all the juicy details about the latest update, but that's not all. We've got some exclusive teasers.
Okay.
We have so much exciting stuff planned
Have
for
a little look.
2023 and beyond, and today we're going to take a sneak peek and meet the people who are making it happen. So,
Full factory copy, not
I
gonna lie.
to start then with a quick chat with creative director Joe Walsh.
Here we go.
Hello, Joe, and welcome to the beautiful
Hi.
Fall Guys HQ.
Literally a green
library.
screen,
Now,
don't
you
lie
wanted
to them.
talk about creative,
Literally a
but
green
before we do
screen.
that, we've got a few questions about the direction the game has been going. So, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it's been a long time in development.
Yeah, you're not saying.
And I think we want to mention that that's something that's kind of going to continue over the course of the year. We're looking to make some big changes to Fall Guys, and that means that seasons are going to get slightly longer to give us the time to kind of make these big changes. But there's going to be big additions happening during a season as well, so you aren't going to get those long droughts of content that we've maybe had in the past.
Yes, please. That's important.
We're talking about vaulting as well. It's always a hot topic with our community.
Yes, we don't like it.
That's something that's going to continue as we go into the new season. Old rounds are coming back, some of them are going into the vault, but it's worth mentioning that these things are like really paying dividends for the dev team. It's allowing us to really focus on the launch of the new season of Creative, which is, yeah, a big change to the game.
So, creative sounds like no small task. It must have been pretty difficult to implement such a huge part of the game. So, I mean, how was that for you?
Yeah, it's been the single biggest change that we've ever made to the game, and it's really exciting to finally give players like the keys to the kingdom. Basically, like we're finally going to see the types of rounds that people want to make, like crazy ideas that we could have never thought of as developers. And this is kind of only the start of it as well. Like the creative that we launched with Season 4 is just the beginning. We're going to be adding new obstacles, new round types, new themes to creative as well.
I thought it'd come in parts. It's all going to
keep growing as we continue to support Fall Guys over the next few years.
So it really sounds like a cycle can develop. The players inspire the devs inspire the players, and you all come up with something really interesting and unique together. But I mean, how is that going to shape the future of Fall Guys, do you think?
Yeah, so one of the main changes is that from now on, the dev team at Mediatonic are going to be using the creative tools to build levels for the game exclusively. That means that we can launch more content than we ever have before. With the launch of Season 4, we're going to be dropping over 50 rounds throughout the course of the season, which is way more than we've ever managed before.
50 rounds in a season.
Another thing which is also really helpful is that for the first time we can start tweaking the levels over the air, so we won't need to push new updates live to fix bugs, which is, again, like a big problem we've always had with the game. So all of these things are just going to make the content so much richer and so much more varied from this point forwards, really.
And not to understate it, because that is really, really cool. The players are going to be using the same tools that the devs are using, and you know, getting a little taste of that game development process as well, which is really fun. Now, if I was to go and build a round myself, how would I share it?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, so once you've completed your round,
this is what we want to know.
As possible, you'll get a share code, and you can then share that code with your friends, and you can fire that up in a custom lobby with your friends or on your own. If you just want to play other people's rounds solo, that's totally fine as well. We're going to be kind of curating the best rounds that are trending as well. And so each week we're going to be trying to put live a sideshow of all the best content from the community. You might even get your round into main show.
Listen to that,
we're also going to be adding and improving the discoverability stuff, so hopefully in the future it will just get even easier for you to find the types of rounds that you want to play.
Nice.
Very cool. Another work in progress. It just keeps getting better. Amazing. So you mentioned themes earlier. Each season does seem to have
I'm so glad we're getting that.
Specific theme.
That's so important.
Is this season any different?
Season 4 is launching with a digital theme. It's sort of a pastel-y, vaporwave inspired theme. And this theme is launching with a bunch of really cool retro digital costumes and a new obstacle called the Boom Blaster as well, which is sort of a hybrid between a punch glove and one of the lily pads as well. So something new for people to play with. All of this stuff is going into creative on day one for you to start making levels with.
Well, the Boom Blaster sounds like it's going to be fun and absolutely infuriating. So I cannot wait to get hands on with that and build with it as well from day one.
Doesn't look as finished. I hope that wasn't a full render.
Are there any other little changes in the season we can get a sneak peek of?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch more stuff.
That cutscene did not
look. The show selector is getting like a fresh coat of paint, so you'll be able to now have way more stuff live through the show selector.
Oh, that's cool.
Kind of creative rounds, other stuff. Also, body blocking is something that we know the community have wanted improvements to for a long time. So we've taken a look at the code there, and we're kind of changing the way you jostle and bump against other players. So it should feel more fluid and more fun and more satisfying.
Oh, so they've changed
finally,
the physics to body blocking
the way season passes work.
Okay.
Season passes are going away, and we're replacing them with a shorter fame pass. So you're going to have multiple fame passes each season. These fame passes are going to be shorter, more bite-sized, 40 tiers for each one, and they're going to cost 600 Showbucks, so they're going to be cheaper.
Every
this
time.
is going to allow players to kind of feel good about completing those things in a more
Hashtag
bite-sized way, which kind of matches the way
ad.
people tend to
Use
play
code
Fall Guys.
ctrtez when buying your
Showbucks. But
Showbucks.
full of amazing costumes, our own costumes, kind of collaboration costumes as well. So yeah, really excited to launch that with Season 4 as well.
Thank you so much, Joe. I cannot wait to dive in. And we actually have a sneak peek of the first Fame Pass right now. Check it out.
Oh, here we go then. So everything we're getting like these kind of pixelated kind of characters. There's a computer, which I think I saw that in one of the leaks. Are we getting any? Right, that's full tilt. Big fans, leading light, any hexaterrestrial. That finish looks nicer in hexaterrestrial. Looks a bit sharper.
What did I tell you? We've only just started the show, and already we know that next season your Fall Guys will step into the digital realm.
You like the pigeon?
Creators will be able to work with the same tools as the development
We liking the
team.
skins?
We're dropping 50 new rounds throughout the season.
50 new rounds is huge. That's huge, and they keep vaulting stuff. Yet they're going to put 50 new rounds in the game
giving you a
in a
full
season.
Exploration of creative. So let's do just that and jump on over to the Mediatonic studio.
No, that's important that we're getting lots of new rounds.
Through how you go about
because one of the problems we've had in the last season is the repetitiveness, right?
Hi everyone, I'm Adina.
And I'm Max.
And today we're going to show you creative and build a round together.
Yeah,
nice.
So let's just get right into it. So from the get-go, we have the new creative tab where you can now create new rounds and load previous rounds, but we're going to start a new round.
Yeah,
so we're going to go straight into that. From the beginning, you can immediately see it's going to ask you what mode you want to make. For now, we're just going to build a race. There will be more coming eventually, but for now, we're just going to build a race.
Right,
and
so if we only got race at launch.
So you can change the sort of theming of your race or other modes as we bring them in. So we're going to go for original.
Just a bit of a disclaimer here. Remember that this is a dev build, and there could be some slight changes on release.
From the get-go, you're going to be greeted with a whole new UI that you're probably not used to seeing when playing Fall Guys. First thing you're going to want to
we'll have to have a look at that next week.
You're going to want to acknowledge is that in the top left, there's a checklist. So you're going to need a start line and a finish line for a race.
Makes sense.
You'll also see that you can move the cursor around with the left stick and obviously rotate the camera with the right stick. And we've got our start line here to get us started.
Yep, okay.
A few things
that
when we're going to start building this round out is we've got our objects list when you press right on the D-pad. Immediately you're greeted with a whole bunch of icons that might not immediately make sense. So let's walk through it a little.
Let's go.
So we have our platforms tab, which is just our static geometry.
It's a pretty good checklist.
Blocks
You are
and
right.
barriers, which are good little static bits of geometry that aren't quite floors and walls, but rather small little obstacles you can place. I have our moving surfaces.
Essentially, Argy, what I want to do is let the community make levels.
Things like our pendulums and our cannons.
And then we play them during a custom stream.
Which sort of add a little bit of flavor to your rounds. And you can use sort of and place them at the end to kind of give you around a bit of depth. You can see across all of the objects that you can place that there is a number attached to them. That affects your budget in the top right. Once you reach the end of that budget, you're not allowed to build anything else. For that reason, it's good to build the bare bones out of your round, get the basic gameplay concepts, and then add layers on top of that from there. In terms of your controls, you've got access to kind of going up and down, moving around with the stick as said, and you can zoom in and out.
I think the reason for the budget and what you can use is probably due to file size.
First things first, we should probably figure out how many players we want our round to be, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to go into changing our settings here. And
I think we should go for a medium.
You think medium?
Large.
Yeah.
So
Everything we ever play has to be large.
Line and then an incredibly wide level. So we got our medium starting line.
Right.
Yep.
So
always large.
Evie, I think you've got an idea of where we're going from here,
Always
right?
large.
I wanted to play with the DoorDash.
Okay, sure. Let's get some DoorDash doors in here.
Yeah.
3's looking a little small.
Yeah, make it 5.
Again, on each of our objects, you can change.
Look, and you can change the number of doors
object
and the number that
most
open.
of the objects have different properties. Some relating to color, some to just general.
Twitch players
values.
too,
So
exactly,
in this
Phil.
instance, I can change the amount of doors and how many of them will actually be open or closed. What do you want to do with this?
You're going to rotate them horizontally.
We're going to line that up, and then we're going to
A
get
vertical level. So you have to go
this
down.
will snap. You have snap properties.
Which makes life way easier.
Which does make life easier when you've
But it
not
does,
got anything
but
selected.
you've
You can
absolutely
do
skewed
tools,
that, mate.
And you can select snapping. So you can do camera snapping and object snapping, and then we're going to snap our DoorDash doors.
Oh, he's fixed it. He fixed it. They fixed
great.
it.
Now
and then they
I
edited
think
it
you're
out.
going to take all of that and make another level of it.
Okay, cool. So we're going to go into our tools again. And we're going to go to multi-select.
The thing is, it'd be
This
easier. It
allows
might be
us
easier to
a
create
paintbrush
something on a
and
Switch.
select the
You can do
objects
it
we want to
handheld.
copy. We're going to copy
If you've
those,
got access to
bring
two
them
different
down.
types of things.
Makes it
Try
very
and-
fast as well.
Try
You know
and
what?
line that up.
I
So if it
actually
doesn't
like
line up, that's fine.
the
You can
idea
just
of
keep
this.
moving it around until you feel it meets your perfect creation.
Should we test that a little bit?
Yeah, let's give it a little test. So we can come on in, you can press the button on the controller that states at the top,
Yeah.
and you can just dive
Let's
in.
go,
and
Sam.
it
Literally
will-
at any time
Yeah,
of the process.
it will put you where you select your cursor, so you can test from anywhere in your
That's actually a
round.
really
So
good
we can see
idea
that
for a
that
map,
works. Copy this, do the same
okay.
thing.
Someone make this map. You know there's going to be
And
so
that's
many
what's really
versions
fun
of this
also
map
with
made.
Creative is you can use
I didn't
any
see maps
obstacles
yet,
and
a
just
lot.
rotate them,
Get on
try
it.
to experiment with them.
Do things that we've not normally done in our previous rounds.
Exactly.
So we're gonna copy some more platform, and I think this is a good place to get a little checkpoint in, which is sat in the platform section. Similarly with everything else, you'll see that it comes
Right,
in a little
this is
too big
gonna
for the level we're
change this
making.
game.
That's
It's gonna bring it
fine.
back, guys.
We'll just bring this out.
Fall Guys
change
is
the
coming back.
settings, make it a little smaller
Smaller.
to meet what we want,
Perfect.
and snap that in.
A checkpoint.
Now, I've got an idea for this section. I'm thinking we
Fall
get
Guys is coming back,
two
guys.
slime platforms on either side with a
This is big
conveyor
dubs.
coming against us and some little bollards to make it a bit sneaky.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we're gonna just make that quite thin.
This is big
drag
dubs.
that out. As you can see, we're just grabbing
I think they
objects from
said
the object
Hexabine
pool,
they're going to
copying
bring
them,
different
getting
themes in. So I
perfect
think we'll
size,
just get
and just getting
one
them in.
theme
So
for now,
we're
and
gonna
I
get
think
our
over time,
bollards. We're
they're
whack
gonna-
these in a nice little sort of
they're going to
triangular
introduce more and more, I think,
formation,
as time
just so we
goes
get a
on.
bunch of players
Which is fine
funneling
to
in.
start
It's a
with.
little
They've got to
difficult.
test that it works on a grand scale,
Copy
and then they'll build it.
these. So with the paint tool, you don't have to hold it. You can just kind of drag things out as you want, copy that.
But it gives
I don't
people so
even
much
have
more
to redo
opportunity,
all
Sniper,
that
to
work. So we're
do
now
things.
gonna select our final little baller because we
What's
just
that
got
little
one in
bouncy-
the
see the little
middle. There we
bouncy
go.
thing there,
We've
by the
immediately
way?
got our two parts. We're now gonna
Look at
get
that. What's that little thing there?
the
You
conveyor.
mentioned.
Yeah. So we're gonna set this in the settings. Similarly, we get a lot of options here. We're going to set this to go to reverse. We're going to have this at a normal speed.
I haven't seen any
Something
yet,
fast
Kieran.
Might be a bit
Will
too
be
much.
too fast.
Bit too much.
We might have to
And then
wait
we're
for,
gonna join this with a standard platform. Really short section, nice and sweet.
We might have to
This
wait
out,
for
and then
Lily
because I'm
Leapers
feeling
2.0.
Just a little bit fiendish. We're going to get some hammers in there as well. Now, hammers, similarly, you might have seen sometimes they're like in this position in previous rounds. This time, we're going to have them sideways. So you can use the same object in a different way to achieve the same goal. So I'm going to put that one there. We're going to put this one here, and we're going to rotate it round. Now, something you can do, if we go into play here, you'll see that they kind of go at the same time. And if that's what you want, that's great. But if you want something a little more chaotic, you can just put a little delay on them.
Perfect.
And then I'm thinking you get a checkpoint in there.
Yeah, little checkpoint after that section would be perfect.
Do the same thing. Actually, we can just copy this one. Because you know what? It saves time.
And exact same size as we need as well, so
I mean,
perfect.
that
So now that
floor
we've
looks
got
a
this
bit-
checkpoint, and I did the previous section, what are you thinking we should do for the next
Yeah,
one?
so I was thinking
Big yeet,
that
we'll
we could
find
add
out,
a little bit
JS.
of verticality again to the level because we went down. Let's go
Yeah,
back up
okay,
a little.
yeah. No,
what do you think?
I feel that. I can feel it. Yeah,
Cool.
let's do that. And this is what's great about creative. If you and your friends just want to get together, kind of bounce ideas off each other and just create something on the fly,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Let's put a little drum on
Okay, yeah,
each
yeah.
of the path, adding a little lily leapers
Okay, I think there's your lily
inspiration.
pads.
Yeah, little lily
Phil,
pads.
they're lily pads.
Now, the drums are a bit tall.
It's just a different
so I think
theme.
we might need
There
to
you
add
go.
in
You
some
need the
ramps.
ramps. Yeah,
let's
you
get
need
some
to put
in there.
ramps.
As I said, like every object, these are customizable.
Already 300 budget,
so
I know.
We kind of need the height here, so we're going to need to change the settings. We're going to need a larger slope. Maybe let's make it a bit shorter.
People will work
and then
out though,
change the
Phil,
colour.
over
Give it-
time.
Yeah, to make it
pop out.
How
different as well
to
from
be
before.
efficient.
So let's get that in there. Extend this out by 1. There we go. A nice little ramp up to our
Awesome.
drums.
Now, after the drums, you can put little blocks, you
Yeah.
know, to have a little platform to land on.
So let's do that, and then we'll cut this in.
Perfect. Yeah,
and
exactly what I
copy
had in
this
mind.
out. There we go.
Awesome.
I'm glad I'm reading your mind here. So what are you feeling
Yeah,
after this?
I think
So I wanna
Kieran,
make them
I think those are
different,
the
you
lily
know,
pads.
like
I think these
different
things.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Challenges.
Hello, come back.
I was thinking for the left one, we could go with this fan.
These
yeah?
here, I
yeah.
think, are your lily
Okay,
pads.
so let's get these fans in. You can see that when I try
Oh,
and place the
FMZ's
object, it goes
favourites.
red. This is because the object itself is probably going to collide with the other object.
Let's
To-
change their settings.
Yeah, change the
Maybe.
settings, yeah.
Anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
Normal.
But that
as well.
way we
Give it a
get
little bit
as
of a
many
delay,
people. Maybe the
Yeah.
40 one. It
And
depends
this
what the
one,
player
clockwise.
limit is, right?
Fast.
Yeah, with a little more.
Perfect.
I know where you're going with this. And then what do you think for the other side?
Maybe we'll go with the
rotating beams.
rotating beam. Yeah,
I'm
the
already there.
rotating beam.
I'm already there. Same thing as the other side. So immediately we can go in, play this, check this out. It's always worthwhile if you're going to build a split path round. You want to make sure that both sides are
Yeah.
I
achievable.
mean, that's not a
As you
bad
look at this,
idea
I'm
if you could
awful at these,
recreate
but-
a level
Oh,
so that you could just
Well,
go
you're
and
doing
practice
great
it.
for someone who's awful at them.
and let's check the other side. Oh, whirligig vibes here. I'm feeling it. It's fine. We're all good.
Brilliant.
Now we need to bring these in line, and I have the perfect idea. We just get some seesaws.
Seesaws, oh
And I
no.
love the little
No, you
seesaws
had
there,
us.
just
You had
lovely
us for a
white
minute, and then you put
lines.
seesaws in it.
Roughly know when you're looking at it from above
Perfect.
where
to
to
align
line them
them.
up.
Yeah.
And we get that last one in there. Change the colors, just, you know, give it a little bit of flavor. Lovely.
Loving this, yeah.
And then another checkpoint.
Yeah, let's go.
Wonderful. And now I think we should do
To be fair,
the
that is
last
quite a
dash
long level.
at the end of the level.
Wrap up the level.
669.
Have a little idea where I want
That's
to go there.
quite
Let's
a long
have
level.
some
You're gonna have a slime floor, aren't you?
Slime
I knew
floor
you were gonna
and
say that.
sliding
I
down to
knew.
the end, yes.
So we have a little long ramp. I think we
Can make
take
it a
this.
little longer.
Yeah, a little longer.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're gonna rotate this, give it a little slant, and then we're gonna get a second
copy it.
one.
Make
get
it steeper.
Make it steeper. Oh, and we'll get that.
This
in
is a
there.
long course.
Close we
So
can.
for 6, 7, 9,
Lovely. We can give that a little
that's
test.
quite a long course.
Yeah. I love that we can't see
Can't
the
see
second one.
Well, this just exudes chaotic vibes. So
It
let's keep this
Brilliant.
going.
I think you could add a little challenge to it.
Yeah?
And put some pendulums over there.
And then I'm thinking at the end of this, let's have one
Axes.
right at the end.
Cheeky.
Very cheeky, just to kind of get
See
that
yourself
right
getting
full
lost.
place.
Yeah, you could just be in here for
Create a
hours,
lot of
couldn't you?
momentum as well.
And then we're gonna.
Oh, look, I saw a
finish
cannon.
Yeah,
There's a
let's
cannon
go.
in there.
And now I think that is our round. And look at that. It looks like a very simple, straightforward round. We
Yeah.
did this in a really short period of time, but
Yeah.
you
Right, now
already
play
have
it.
something that you can just play and test out.
Now play
so
it.
now that we're done, we now need to go through and publish
Publish.
this. So what you want to do when you're ready and you're done with your round, you're going to press
Okay.
the start button or the button appropriate to your controller. Firstly, I recommend saving. That will just automatically save the
I'd play
round
it.
and also generic settings so that you can adjust that later.
Change the
And just
name
make
of
sure
it.
You don't lose any progress while you're building things.
Ah, cool. So you don't have to
And we're
publish it
gonna
straight away.
hit
You
the
can save
publish
it, come back to it
Yeah.
later.
So let's go.
Gives a little intro camera
Hmm.
of the level as well.
Something that you obviously probably recognized from our previous rounds, we wanted to make sure that you got your own little intro camera. All right, so let's see if we can
Let's go.
play this. Now,
Yeah.
so you can see because we changed
I
the
like the
doors,
vertical door
it's,
dashes as a
we
thing,
set
though.
it to 2,
I
right?
think
So-
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm awful at this. Oh, I'm awful.
And you bounce
Come
off
on,
them
there
as
we
well,
go.
like that.
gonna
You
take
never
a
knew
risky
that
one.
you'd bounce off them like that, would you?
To the path of most resistance here.
Something to take in mind when you're building these out.
Here we
is
go.
that depending
I
on
wanted to see
the
how
amount of
these
players
bounce.
you're building for, you'll want to make sure there's
Oh yeah, they
space
bounce just
for
like a
players to
lily
get
pad.
through. So whilst it may seem
Just like a lily pad.
fairly easy on your own, it's probably going to be a bit harder when more players
20
are going
players.
through it.
Yeah. You are doing great.
No fails yet.
Yet.
All right, yet.
I don't want to jinx it.
You know,
Yeah.
we should have done. We should have changed
We should
the
have
pendulum
done
timers.
little delays.
But that's the thing. You can change the flavor to however you want it to, and you know,
I
should have jumped. Okay, I'll make sure I jump this time.
Yeah, this time do not forget to jump.
Sometimes I'm
You
just bad at that.
got it.
Yeah, all right,
Complete.
we got there. So now that we've done the test complete, and we can now choose to publish. So we can either cancel this if we
Test it
want
a
to make
few
some
times.
changes, or you didn't like the round that you made. Similar to the pendulums, where we realized they're all on the same timing, so we could change that if we wanted.
I think we're good for this run through.
So let's just publish this, and that gives us our share
code.
Yeah.
Yay.
From there, you can like hand that around to your friends, put it out into the online community, and get players in your rounds.
Yeah, I hope this little run through gave you a good idea of what creative can do. And yeah, it's all about build your round, play it, and share it with your friends in the community. We're super excited to see what you guys can come up with and what you're going to build.
I'm very excited for what you guys come up with.
Yeah, we're looking forward to play.
Then we'll do it.
Gonna make.
We've been doing this for a long time, so we're
Discord
super
channel for
excited
codes is a great
to
idea,
see
FMZ.
what you folks create. But yeah, and I think that's it from us, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Catch you later. See you in another
Cheers.
video. Bye.
Thanks, devs.
Build, play, share. It's as easy as that. Remember, Creative will be launching with original and digital themes, and you'll be able to create your own races on
Where's
launch.
Glizzy going?
But we'll also be adding more round types, themes, obstacles, and music in future updates. Whew. So, now you've heard all that, I think you're probably ready to jump in and start building. And we've got a few tips to help give you a boost.
Thanks for that
Firstly,
amazing
make sure
camera
you're a
edit for
member
no
of
reason.
the Fall Guys Discord server, where you'll be able to share your creations using your round share
Come
code.
join my Discord, guys.
Next, if
It'll be
you're
way
looking
much
for
more
some
fun.
pointers or inspiration, then keep an eye out for our brand new YouTube series.
A YouTube
Finally, the
series?
Mediatonic team will be
They're
roaming
going to
through
make
their
content?
favorite creations to add to specially constructed creator round playlists, and they will be in the live shows tab. Now, who's your favorite Fall Guys character? Are you a fan of the mysterious Silent,
What are we saying,
the
guys?
ever-optimistic Pink, or maybe it's the mechanically minded Clovis?
Still, the full goals. This what just turn it into the ctrtez
Eyebrows.
Discord server.
Well, we're lucky enough to be joined by senior writer Murray Lewis, who's
Go
going
in
to
and
take
take
us on
over.
a deep dive into the world of Fall Guys lore.
Right,
Hello,
so
Murray, and welcome
we've
to
got
the
all the
library.
big-
We
the big
are
headlines.
surrounded by, if you
I think
have an eagle eye,
it's
you'll notice
definitely
some of
going to
characters
improve the
here
game
who
again.
Do actually have quite
I think
a
we can
part
all be
to
very
play
happy
in
with
the
that.
story, the narrative of Fall Guys. So, as I'm introducing you to this library,
That's
why don't
gonna be
you
in
tell
there,
us how
Super
you've
Sniper. They explained
introduced
that
the narrative
earlier.
to Fall Guys and what that's been like.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. You know, finding
They did
ways
explain
to
that earlier.
introduce new characters, new stories.
That you'll be
to
able
that
to
world.
create a
It's
customs
very
lobby
vibrant,
and
it's
use
very,
codes.
Fun just to play around
Get
with,
maps.
really. You know, having all these beans to tell stories with.
So we should have that.
That's the sentence you ever expected you'd be saying, right? And then the sky's the limit when you've got like
We'll
such
figure it
a,
all out anyway, Super
insanely, like,
Sniper.
open concept universe, right, as Fall Guys. But
It's
there are some
definitely
main
gonna help.
characters at the moment. So why don't you tell us about who they are?
Yeah, so going all the way back to the beginning, the
mean, I'll be
original
honest, I
launch
don't really
of
care
Fall
about
Guys,
this.
We've always had Pink, who is our kind of every
Noob.
bean. And
Noob
also introduced it slightly later, but has been around again for a long time, is Clovis.
Who the
who's,
hell's Clovis?
Pink's best friend. And
Guys,
they
did we all
are
know
an
this?
engineer. And then we started to introduce more narrative-focused characters.
Did
like
we all know
Silent,
this? Because I didn't know this, any of this.
who is a showrunner. They do their best to just create the best shows that they possibly can, but they also have this fascination with the world of Fall Guys and trying to find out a bit more about the history of the world that they're in, and then they're helped
I mean,
by
at least they're trying to give it a bit of
Banana,
depth.
who is their assistant showrunner. And then more recently, we've started
You know
to
all this,
introduce
JS. Fair
characters
play.
like Hypebean, who you would have seen in the trailer for Free For All. They're kind of a celebrity in the world of Fall Guys in the Blunderdome. And then we've also got Stash and Sally, who you would have seen at the end of that trailer, and also we brought them into the following season, a kind of a duo of researchers that work with Silent.
Quite a big cast so far. I mean, is that going to continue to expand, or are you done?
No, absolutely. We've got lots of upcoming new characters.
This is
You would have
someone's
seen
this
King
is someone's
Poseidon,
job, by the way, at
that we
Mediatonic.
introduced in this season in Sunken Secrets, recently emerged. And moving forwards into
create
next
the
season,
lore.
I can now reveal a new character called Digi that we're going to be introducing.
Yeah,
who
little
is
Digilock is your
also
construction
an
friend.
engineer, like Clovis. At the moment, she's currently missing. So
Oh,
we're hoping
are we going to find her in
look
an
into,
event?
You know, what happened to Digi? Where has she been? What's she been up to?
Yeah, I love a good mystery. Okay, all right. Well, speaking
Thing
of
is, I think
mystery,
why the
for
reason
uninitiated, why don't you
season
give us a
3
recap of
got
the
so
main
quiet
Fall Guys story so far?
I mean, if we take it back to when we first
Was because they were
introduced
putting so much energy
it's a few seasons ago.
Into
We
creative
would have seen them
and getting that
initially
up and running.
putting together the plans.
But hopefully
to
now
launch the
we'll
satellite,
go
which
back to
became
getting
the
more
satellite of the free-for-all season.
more
But they had a bit of an
details
ulterior motive.
for the
So
actual
they weren't just doing it
game.
to
More
broadcast
content for the
show
game.
across the
Events.
universe.
Going back to having proper
They
collabs, new
also
collabs.
have this mysterious
Hopefully
belt
they'll go
they've
back
been
down
holding
that
on
route.
to. They don't know exactly where it came from.
Did you
but
want
they know it's
hunting?
not from the Blunder Dome, and they've been trying to work out where it came from. And so they sent this satellite up in the hopes of finding out. But Stash and Sally, being Stash and Sally, kind of messed it all up. And it got to the point where Silent was like, you know what, I'm just going to go up there and do it myself. And they started looking for this signal, and they found a signal coming from the planet. But as they found it, something went wrong.
Ooh.
And it got Silent stuck inside the machinery
Oh
of the
dear.
satellite. And Banana had to actually come to their rescue, as you would have seen at the end of that season.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely remember that.
Always there to help out.
Yes.
And pulling Silent out of that machinery
Love it,
kind
Oggy.
of caused this energy burst that opened up one last big portal.
Oh no.
And that became our way down to the source of this signal that Silent found.
Okay.
And that was the Lost City. When they got there,
When you
there
have
was-
to
it seemed
spend
empty, but turned out that
10
the
minutes
beings, led by Poseidon,
Explaining your trailers.
were just hiding, just waiting in
Maybe.
the shadows, being like, "Do we
Just-
trust these beings? We've never seen these beings
Maybe.
before."
Scoping out the newcomers.
You need
Good.
to make better trailers.
And then they've emerged now, and they're happy to make friends.
So we've got to this point now where Digi has been missing for a little
Thoughts?
while. And we've got a bit of a mystery
Thoughts,
to
chat?
solve there. So where do we go from here?
It's a good thing you asked. We do actually have an event called Coin Quest that players can hopefully jump in and find out.
We've already done it.
Okay, all right.
Smashed
Well,
it.
thank you so much, Murray.
W
And
skin
right
for
now
that event,
we
by
have
the
a
way.
quick look at the teaser for Coin Quest. Check it out.
It's too late. We're already playing it. We're literally already playing it. It's already in the game. That is not a teaser. You can't tease something that's already in the game. What are they doing? Why are they teasing an event that's already happening? Maybe, I tell you what it might be. It might be that they think that a lot of people will have come back to watch this who haven't played Fall Guys in
Don't
ages.
forget to check out the Coin Quest and help Silent and the rest of the gang to prove their worth.
That's probably what it
Society.
is.
Well, there you have it.
There we go.
Everything you need to know to get you ready for the big release on May the 10th. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Well, there we are.
Wait, I almost forgot.
oh.
I promised earlier that
Wait
we
a
were going
minute.
to look at what else is planned for the future. And I don't break my promises.
Oh, go on then.
So let's get into it.
Here we go.
One little warning before we dive in. These
I was a bit
features
worried that was
are
gonna be
very
it.
much still in development, which means they could change drastically before release or never even see the light of day outside of the Mediatonic studio.
Basically, they want
So
to
you've been
judge our opinions on this
Now
situation.
we've got that out of the way, let's head back over to Joe for some exclusive details.
What we saying? What we saying?
Welcome back, Joe. We've dragged you back in because we want to talk about some experimental features. And they aren't a guarantee. I need to reiterate, need to make it clear, not a guarantee, but still very exciting to think about. So, how does it feel to talk about these?
Yeah, it's certainly scary.
They're trying to judge
we've never really
opinion
talked about features
before they
that were kind
spend
of
time on
early in
it.
development before. But
That's what's going
I
on
think It's
here.
really important that we take an opportunity to kind of show our players our ambitions for the game over the next years. We want to do more and more with these silly little jelly beans that we have. Like, we love them so much, and I just think there are so many great ways that we can take this game. And yeah, wanted to have an opportunity to kind of peel behind the curtain a little bit and show what it's like to develop things earlier on in development.
So, which features are you most excited about?
Power-ups is a way to kind of inject kind of even crazier gameplay into Fall Guys in a way that we haven't really been able to find the
Power-ups.
space for yet. So kind of allowing Fall Guys to do weird and wonderful things and giving players the control over
Oh
like
my
when
God.
they
Oh,
have
that's
to do
so
something, I think is
toxic.
really cool. And all of this would kind of be delivered through creative.
Double
as well.
jumping.
So you could maybe put power-ups in your own levels and certain places and things like that.
So, of course, again, we have to say that these might not happen, they might happen, but anything else you've conceived that might come to the game?
Yeah, I mean, there's other stuff that we've been playing around with over the past year that it's just fun to show demonstrations of, really.
Saf would love that.
Tether mode is something we've been making, which is
Tether.
basically if you imagine co-op Fall Guys, but with giant bungee cords between you.
Okay, all right. Well, how does that work? You just start at the beginning tethered to each other?
Yeah,
or-
we've been playing it where you're tethered, and if you run kind of either side of a pillar, you both get pulled
Oh
back.
my gosh.
And
All right.
You can kind of pull the other person up if they fall off.
Yeah,
on that.
yeah, yeah, okay.
We've had lots of fun testing.
That could be quite fun.
Feels very promising.
That's pretty fun. That could be troll or incredibly
Yeah.
wholesome, depending
That
on
could could be quite fun.
Exactly. And that's kind of one of the ways we've been looking at co-op gameplay in the game, for example. Like, we know players love playing Fall Guys, maybe not in a competitive setting, and we think it'd be really fun to kind of look at what co-op might be, for example. Another thing that we've been doing, for example, is the roll feature, which was adding new movement to the Fall Guy in a way that's like even more adventurous than dive slides.
Oh my God,
what would it feel
Sonic.
like if you could curl up into a ball and bounce your way around?
Oh, you could actually be Sonic.
Off users, hammers, and things like that.
Oh my gosh, that would make tail tag even more infuriating.
Yes, exactly.
You could actually be Sonic
to do there,
in Green Hill
It's
Zone.
just fun to kind of show the kind of prototypey things that we've been doing in the studio, and just give people a sense of all the things that we want to do with the game.
Yeah,
obviously players can see just how far the game has come, and it's
ability to make hide and seek type maps.
But for you, that must be even more wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing ride. I think one thing we always wanted, you know, before the game even came
saw
out,
that as well. Nice bit, a little jump off the wall
to make their own levels, and so finally to be at the point where creative has nearly launched is really exciting. I think Fall Guys is in a special place where, you know, anybody can make a level. Like, you just have to throw a couple of obstacles and a start and a finish line, and hope that this could be the opportunity for people who've maybe never tried their hand at game design before.
Lovely.
But yeah, more generally, it's been a real ride. We haven't got everything right. You know, we've made mistakes over the course of development, and I kind of just wanted to take the opportunity to thank our players for sticking with us as we try and figure out the weird and wonderful world of Fall Guys. It's been a real journey, and yeah, excited to take the game from creative beyond into kind of weird and wonderful directions over the next few years.
Weird and wonderful, definitely the words I would use for it. Thank you so much, Joe, and thank you to all of you for watching at home. Remember, creative does come out on
There
May
we
the
go.
10th, so dive in and have fun.
Overall
we'll see you
thoughts
next
then,
time.
guys?
Bye.
What are we thinking? Are we happy? Oh, hello. Little trailer. New level, new level, new level. Okay. Oh, look at them little cylinder bouncy paddy things. Okay. We'll do this. What we'll do when we get over to the Vaulted Custom streams, we'll have a little poll in the chat. But there we are. There we go. That, I think, is very, very exciting. I like it. I like it. I think we're gonna have some good times, good fun with that. I think it's going to be good. I like it. So then, with that all in mind, I think the idea that we can do creative the way that I want to do it means that we'll be able to have proper creative streams in customs with all your guys' levels. That's a big dub. The style of this new thing is okay. You don't need to go anywhere, guys. Just sit in here. I'm going to redirect you straight across to it, so you don't need to go anywhere. I think all these things are good. Some of those things are very good too. Some of the stuff that they're looking at, like the idea of curling up in a ball and being Sonic. Why would you not want to do that? All quite good, and I think it's going to bring some people back. You like it. Ferrari Boy Dan likes it. Soshy likes it. Adam, where are you taking me? Anywhere you like. So yeah, I think it's going to be massively good. I think it's going to be good. Right then, stay where you are. Don't go anywhere. And I'll see you in the next place. I'm going to put the start streams back on, so don't get confused. And I'll see you over for some Vaulted Customs any moment now.